Hello everyone, I'm Merit, Senior Community Manager here at Wilson Studio. So I have our game director Andrei with me, and let's start.
Yep.
So what does extraction RPG mean?
Right, so that's a very good question. When we started working initially on this project, we found ourselves defining a new genre. So the original pitch for the game was, what if we could play an extraction game with the extraction loop, but with action RPG gameplay? So we took advantage of the words here and made a small play on the words, and basically we took the extraction part, combining it with action RPG into a single phrase, hoping to create something new.
How do we plan on monetizing the game?
Right, so the game is going to be free to play. We've built it from the beginning with free to play in mind because we want it to be a live game. We want it to span a long period of time, and in order for that to be sustainable, we have to have like an ongoing revenue model for it. In terms of how we plan on monetizing, this is still a lot in development, in terms that we're exploring different paths to make it fair, but we're exploring it with some pillars in mind. So we definitely don't want to have anything in the game that's pay to win. So we're trying to make sure that everything that's monetized is fair. So it's going to be based around cosmetics, for example, around some seasonal events, around some premium features maybe, that won't have an impact on the output of the game itself.
How long one season will take?
At the minute, we're thinking that seasons are going to be about 4 months in length. Obviously, we'll have to adapt and see how things go, but that's our current timeline for how long a season would be. And then our intention is that we will provide new content with each season that comes up.
And we continuously talk about community-driven development. And how do we incorporate community feedback into this development process? Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're learning as we go. So the community-driven aspect for us, what's important are communication. We want to stay in constant communication with the community. We want to be able to take the feedback, digest it, and really produce results based on it. Now, I'm not saying we're very good at it yet. We're still experimenting. We're figuring out ways to do this. Of course, right now we're using our Discord a lot to gather feedback. We're using feedback forms with each test that we do. And we're trying to find new ways to have this back and forth communication with the community. Over time, I hope to, I don't want to say automate it, but make it to a point where we have a much faster turnover from people writing the feedback and making it into the game. Because we got a lot of feedback even from our first closed alpha test, our second closed alpha test, and they're all still there. We're actively working on them. It's just a question of priority and when we get to it. So all of the feedback that's been written so far, we have it, and we're going to incorporate it into the game.
And how far are we in the development process?
So we are right now during our alpha period. We intend to close off our alpha period sometime next year. Can't spoil too much about it. And that will see our game be sort of feature complete. So in the gaming industry, by alpha, what we mean is that not all of the features of the game are ready. And we intend to keep adding features into the game until we hit early access somewhere towards the first part of next year. So there's still a lot of exciting things to keep adding to the game.
And will there be a player-driven economy? Can you talk about it?
Yes. Actually, I consider it to be one of the fundamental pillars of the game. A lot of extraction games, I think, sometimes miss this part of the formula, because it's not just about a game, about going into a map or a match and then coming out with loot and then going in again and again and doing this over and over. It's what you bring out of these matches needs to have value, so that you have this feeling of winning, gaining something or losing something. And that value comes from an economical model. So I think like the secret sauce, as I call it sometimes, is the actual player-driven economy itself. And we want to put that into the game. That's going to be available for testing a bit later in our alpha development cycle. But it is coming, and it's basically going to enable players to trade items with each other in a sort of auction house with in-game currency and nothing real money related, but within an in-game closed economy.
And in terms of gameplay mechanics, what should the community expect?
Well, there's a lot of action RPG elements that we're trying to bring into the game. We're also taking some inspirations from MOBAs because unfortunately the action RPG space hasn't explored PvP enough to be a strong reference in the field. Of course, we have some examples, but not very deep, meaningful, competitive ones. So we're looking at mechanics that for the most part we're trying to stay action RPG. For some parts we're bringing some mobile elements in, like you have the leveling system which you have to level up, and everything else is more from the extraction spectrum. So everything that's about how you go into a match, you might have some mechanics around how long you can stay into a match that are going to be quite unique for us, and yeah, other extraction elements such as when you die you lose your stuff.
And what does the game loop look like?
So game loop starts off with the player in a pretty much empty base. From there they travel to different maps in different matches. We call these godly domains. So there are places like the ruins of Valhalla or Mount Olympus destroyed. You go to these places in search either of a quest objective, or sometimes it might be that you need a particular type of resource to craft something or build something back in your base. Nevertheless, you go into these places trying to get what you need, and hopefully you manage to make it out by going to one of our extraction sites. We call these obelisks, and we're trying to make different types of obelisks where you can extract with different conditions. And if you do, you get back to your base with the things that you've gathered, and if not, you die. Unfortunately, you lose at least some of the things you gathered along the way. We do want to have some systems in place that allow you to keep, like an insurance system. We also have a sort of secure container system that's tied to an upcoming feature in the game. And from there, you take all of these things that you gather and you invest them back in your base, basically turning your base into a high output factory that can churn out various things through crafting and through the different other systems that we have in there for you to gain more power in the game.